Listen up, cluckheads.
You're listening to Whiskey and Whine
With Rooster and
the Madman, where we talk about common sense, current events,
the Constitution,
and morals, while comparing drinks of yesteryear to drinks of today.
So sit back, relax, leave us a comment.
Here comes Whiskey and Whine.
So anyway, that's whenever the Overlord looked at him and said, there ain't no party like an Overlord party, because an Overlord party is mandatory or it gets the hose again and goes in the dungeon.
Yeah, he's going to get in trouble over that one of these days.
Eventually he will. I don't know. Oh, wait.
We're recording. So, welcome back, Luckheads.
You know who we are.
You know what we do.
Current events.
Common sense.
Constitution and some morals, even though we've been absent with morals for a while.
She has been around for a while, so
that's all right.
Yeah, it might get a little crazy around
here. It allows
here.
us to say stuff that we don't normally say, especially because some of our schedule's been wonky between us and the radio station and stuff like that.
Everything's been nuts.
So it's just been clucking nuts.
Well, I blame the economy for having to have 2 or 3 jobs.
Yeah. But
I thank the economy for letting me have 2 or 3 jobs.
According to Bidenomics, that the economy is actually doing better than ever.
Well, it's just low unemployment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all got 2 or 3 jobs.
It's amazing how that happens. Yeah. So anyway, this is episode 81.
81.
And one of our favorite drinks across the board has been a mead.
Yep.
And we're going to go a little Viking today.
Going to go some Viking.
We are going to drink the mead.
Yeah, so I picked this one up at a...
An Olatak. Vicker and Guten.
Burger. Oh, wait, no, I got this. It's smorgasbord.
It was poured in the glass in Swedish.
Yeah, okay, cool.
In Swedish, it says, I'll take one, poured in the glass.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ironically, smorgas is actually a sandwich in Swedish.
Oh, so how many movies did you have to watch to learn that little bit of language?
Man. You don't know me.
One penis pump.
It is one penis pump and larger, and me. This sort of thing is my bag, baby.
So, so I got this at one of the local farmers markets. I'm at a lot of farmers markets with these guys. They're pretty cool. It's the Fox and Raven Mead Company or Meadery.
Fox and Raven.
Fox and Raven. You can look them up on Facebook. Like I said, they do a lot of local events and local farmers markets. They're out of Carrollton, Texas.
So they're like right around the corner then.
They are. This one is called Blood for Gold.
I already like it.
Yeah, that just seems like it's just cool right there. It's kind of
like whenever we did that very first one with the Texas Renaissance.
Yeah.
And the Viking.
Mission, Texas.
Had a Todd Mission, Texas. And then the one that tasted like it was a bit of honey.
Yeah.
And then and we did a really unfair comparison, but we didn't know that at the time. To the Viking blood.
Yeah, Viking blood.
Viking blood.
Yeah, which was out of Denmark, which was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Still the best drink that I think we've had on the show.
I don't know if it's the best drink that we've had on the show.
It's definitely the best mead we've had on the show.
It's the best mead. And there's another mead that's really good, too, that somebody gifted me. But it's made by the same company, but it's just a different flavor.
Ah, cool. Yeah, because I think the one we tried was like pomegranate or I don't remember what the Viking blood one was.
It was like hibiscus and honey and.
This is hibiscus and pineapple.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. I may have already had a tasting on a free sample at the farmer's market. So.
You cluck.
I know. They gave me some samples, and I felt really bad because they gave me a sample of.
Yeah, I can tell you felt really bad.
And then the other one, I took the shot because they're little shot glasses. I took the shot, and I hadn't swallowed yet. He goes, "Yeah, that one's got lactose in it." And I felt really bad for having to spit it back into the little paper shot glasses. Yeah, dude.
So you're saying that you're a quitter? Spitters are quitters.
Yeah. So I was like, dude, I'm sorry.
At least that's what I heard.
I can't do
that's
lactose.
What I heard. Spitters were quitters.
I'm at an outdoor event that's gonna go badly. I'm sure it was great meat, though.
But no, as a whole, Mead's been one of our favorite drinks across the board. Even the bad ones weren't.
Yeah, other than the Todd Mission was the worst. Copper Sky Craft, when they existed, they had great meads.
Yeah, but I mean, even the one from Todd Mission, Texas. I think it was just called Texas Renaissance Honey.
Yeah, it was. It was just a liquid bit of honey.
But even that one, for being the bottom end, it was still much better than a lot of the other bottom.
It was kind of like drinking Budweiser. You can drink it. It's not.
But one of the things that we've always loved about the meads is that most of them always have a really good flavor.
Yeah.
It's not a super high alcohol content, so you can have 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's just like a wine. It's 12%.
Still be fine.
Yeah, this was 12%.
As opposed to like 2 or 3 whiskeys, and you need to rest a minute before you drive or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting here looking at it. It's got a great color to it.
Yeah, it is. I think it's the hibiscus.
I'm sure that between the honey and the hibiscus, and a lot of people don't realize that you can actually make your own mead at home legally, and it doesn't take that long. I think it only takes about 8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, there's a percentage of the population who makes their own liquor in toilets.
Well, yeah.
They're usually incarcerated, using raisins.
I wasn't going there. I wasn't going there.
No, I wasn't going there.
I was saying that you could buy this stuff on Amazon, and like you can actually get like the jug, and it has like the way to do the vacuum seal and stuff like that. Because I was kind of looking into it. I was thinking about making a Rooster and Madman mead.
That'd be pretty cool.
So I've been kind of looking into it. Oh yeah, surprise! I was looking at doing a mead for us.
Nice.
Because we've always enjoyed the meads.
Sure.
So I was looking into it, and some of the basic material you can get just really like overnight on Amazon. And depending on how much honey and stuff you put in, it depends on the coloring. It also depends on the alcohol percentage, because then you have to put like your active yeast in there and things like that. And if I end up getting some free space in the garage, I may just go ahead and do it.
That'd be pretty cool. Maybe we do beer too.
Or mead.
Because
we like to go a Viking.
Go a Viking. Should have brought my Thor's hammer in.
Have you ever tried to shoot arrows with cold hands?
It's very hard to do.
Very hard to do. Do you want to try it?
Who there, Boozer Chieftain?
Who Boozer Chieftain?
You guys haven't seen Norseman. It's
dude,
hilarious.
that completely sucks that they canceled the 4th season.
Yeah, that
because they actually had a great following.
That show was funny.
They had a great.
It's actually out of. Where was it? It was out of Sweden or Finland or something like that.
I think it was out of Sweden.
Yeah. So it was a good show. I quite enjoyed it. But we should probably get into taking
in case you were wanting to know how to
smell
say
here. Yeah.
Say Swedish and
all right.
Svenska.
I'm going to do the Joe Biden sniff test while
Uncle Joe
we'll cover
Biden.
what he's progressed to later. Smells good. Smells very pineapple-y hibiscus.
Oh, you can smell the pineapple in that. And I'm not a huge pineapple person.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that the honey and the hibiscus kind of. All right, so I'll do our
Go
pour.
ahead, give it a pour.
Give it a pour. Now, whenever you're pouring it, you can see some of the pinkish in it for the hibiscus.
Yeah.
So it's definitely.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in getting this, they're going to be in all the farmers markets with me this week, and where Gift of Chicken will be. So I think we're all in the same ones.
Why don't we try to get them on the show, man?
We could. So, all righty. Let's see what we got here. No, I'm good right now.
Whatever.
So.
All right, so let's do our cluckage clinkage and take our first sipperoo.
We're not being classy. We're using plastic cups. That is really good.
That is
really
exceptionally good.
That is really good.
Wow. How much does this cost?
What did I pay? $17 or something like that.
So less than 20?
Yeah. Under $20.
And it's a craft mead.
Yeah, absolutely. Out of Carrollton, Texas.
Right around the corner.
Yeah. They'll be at the Carrollton Artisan Market on Sunday.
We need to get them on the show. This is really good. And I was kind of concerned because I don't like a whole lot of pineapple.
No, their booth is neat. They dress up the whole part. They're in costume and all that kind of stuff. Their tent's all decorated and things like that. The woman who works the booth with him, she wears like this big...
like a shield maiden type of thing?
She's got the antlers on and everything with all the...
But for those people that are into history, we know Vikings didn't have horns in their hamlet.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, though. They do a pretty good job. I can see them hanging out at all the Renaissance fairs and,
So my son wants to try mead.
Okay.
and he was studying some of our family history, and he got some books from the library, which I'm glad that he's reading, stuff like that, and it was talking about the progression of the Vikings from Sweden and Norway into Denmark, down into Germany, and that was kind of like the original, the elder settings. Sure. And then they branched out, Ireland, England, Morocco, Persia, Greenland, Iceland, stuff like that. And I thought, okay, well, cool. You just want to learn more about our family's history. Cool. And then he asked about playing a video game called Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I've not played that one yet.
And I love all the Assassin's Creed games.
I haven't played that one yet.
But I told him, I was like, dude, that's a little graphic for a 10-year-old.
He's still a little young, yeah.
And so naturally I bought it. And he got to watch me play it.
Yeah.
But we were tag teaming, like we were like kind of going back and forth. Like he was telling me where to go and stuff like that. And my excuse was that it's because the controls were too hard for him to handle.
Yeah.
But that it was desperate that I desperately needed his help, and that it was also imperative that he did not tell his mother.
Yeah. Hope she doesn't listen to the show.
But she doesn't. She doesn't. But the cool thing was that we actually used it as a learning experience, because whenever something would come up that was true or historical, we would pause the game, we would look it up, and spend some father-son time learning about it.
Well, and
then he comes out of nowhere. He's like, well, the drinking game that they do in the towns? I was like, yeah. He goes, can I try some mead? And I'm like, no. Hey.
Yeah, we'll see if I can find someone.
I was like, no.
Non-alcoholic one for him.
We cannot try the mead. He's like, well, why? I thought you said it was just honey. I was like, because it's alcoholic. He goes, oh, that's why the screen gets all fuzzy after you play. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
He goes, oh. Yeah, I'm too young for that. I'm like, good call.
It's like when my kids were little and they asked me if I think my daughter asked me, is a hangover something you always get after you drink? Yes. Every single time.
Doesn't matter if you can just sniff it. You'll get it.
Be in the room.
We do it because we hate ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
But anyway, we should dress up one time and surprise them. That's our booth.
Oh, okay. I was like,
no, this isn't a creepy Joe Biden thing.
I was like, all right, we go to the dungeon first.
No. Talk about like
I'm allergic to latex, man.
like dress up and go surprise them on there.
That'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be cool.
Because out of all the drinks that we've had, Mead has consistently been one of our favorites.
Yeah, it's never been a letdown.
No,
never.
Even
been
the bad ones have never been.
It's never been a letdown.
So
we need to get into some topics here, man.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me take this first topic.
You got it.
Let me take it. Can I have it?
You can have it.
All right. So topic number 1. If you want to get down to the ground, it's cocaine. Has been found in the White House.
What?
No. Now, this came out like last week.
It was.
But
they're still talking about it in the news.
It's still all over the media.
Yeah.
So naturally, we had all of our assumptions over whose cocaine it was.
Well, the assumptions had to be there because the first one, they said, it was located here, then there.
It's changed narrative 3 times.
It's been nasal powder. I've never heard of nasal powder, but, sure, whatever.
So it's changed locations from the library to the parking garage to the West Wing secured area.
It was the West Wing.
And it was the West Wing.
Yeah.
So now, I don't know how many people have actually been to the White House. There are cameras everywhere.
Yeah, and contrary to what they say, you can't tour the West Wing.
And the secured section of the West Wing, you can't tour. But there are literally cameras everywhere. People have to sign in, sign out.
So it's almost like the most secured building in America.
So now that's false.
Oh.
It is not the most secured building in America, that's actually Fort Knox.
Because apparently you can just bring cocaine into it.
But it is in the top 5 most secure locations in the entire world.
What?
Now, They already kind of, especially like on Politico, they went ahead last week and they made an announcement saying that the suspect is unlikely to be found.
Yeah, they did say they're going to close the investigation.
That was last week. Well, then this week they said the Secret Service says that they're going to close the investigation as no suspects were found. Okay, so let me get this straight. One of the top 5 most secure locations in the world.
Yeah.
That has their own private police force.
Uh-huh.
They have their own Secret Service.
Uh-huh.
They have multiple cameras in every room.
Correct.
You have to sign in and sign out to go into those secure locations. They have to do facial ID and recognition checks to go into those.
Oh, I'm sure there's body scans too.
And the Secret Service says that there's no evidence of who this could have been.
It's too hard. It's too hard.
So, forget left or right for a second. Forget Democrats and Republicans and Democans and Republicrats and whatever. Yeah. The Secret Service just said that they do their job so clucking horribly that if anyone hated America, all they had to do was tour the West Wing with a weaponized, non-magnetic bioweapon, and they could essentially wipe out the entire White House. That's what they just said.
Yeah, they basically have admitted that the West Wing, if they're telling the truth, is not secure.
Or
they're lying. Because, one of the originals, when it came out, and they were doing the parking garage, and then they did this, and then it turns out the West Wing, because what they could not keep a lid on was the D.C. Fire Department saying, yes, it was cocaine. Here's where we found it.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that had to do the testing.
Yeah.
Is they said that, the president's family weren't even at the White House for the celebrations of 4th of July.
And
yeah, that was not true. I mean, I understand you said it, but the video of you watching the fireworks
from the balcony
with the president, the first lady,
the first son that was twitching out,
son who looked like he had just done a bump and was sweating and all twitchy, along with one of the baby mamas and whoever else was, the one grandkid we know who wasn't there was the one that they don't admit to.
Well, you know why, don't you? Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. I don't have to pay child support.
You can just see him now up there on the balcony. Hey, big guy, you got any more of those cocaine and peanut butter sandwiches?
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It's Hunter. It's just Hunter. It's Hunter's cocaine. Everybody knows it. This country, the administration just thinks we're stupid. If you believe the story, you're the stupid one. Sorry. I hate to say that to our fans, but come on. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah, unless Corn Pop snuck in there
Corn Pop
with an 8-ball.
Corn Pop might be playing the long game, man, to make Biden look back. Because Corn Pop's a bad dude. Oh, yeah. And he hung around with a bunch of bad boys when those children were running their fingers up his hairy legs.
The problem is, there's a whole bunch of people out there going, well, even if it was Hunter Biden, it's not as bad as what the Trump kids were probably up to when they were in the White House.
So, that being said, timer just went off. You know what? No, I am going to finish my thought on that. If this would have been Trump, if this would have been any of Trump's family, and I'm going to go a couple steps further. If this would have been Trump and any of his kids, if this would have been Obama and either one of the girls, if this would have even been Hillary and Bill and Chelsea Clinton.
Well, everybody knows it would have been Bill's.
No. But if it would have been any of the previous president's administration and cocaine was found in the White House, particularly if it would have been under Obama, the Republicans would have been up in arms.
Oh, yeah.
And if it would have been under Trump, the Democrats would have been up in arms.
Yeah.
They make exception after exception for
you got to remember, Hunter just cut a deal, what was it, 2 weeks ago, to not go to jail, to get all of his felonies thrown out by pleading guilty to a misdemeanor tax
and that included
evasion.
That included his drug charges and the unlawful
gun charges.
Owning of a gun.
So so he basically got off with nothing but a small fine.
Yeah.
And we all know that fine's never going to get paid, that it's going to come out of some slush fund from Ukraine if it does get paid.
Yeah. Burisma.
So it's ridiculous. I mean, we are living in a time of the corruption is just in our face and nobody seems to care.
Yeah.
And they just like, hey, you know what? We're better than you.
As long as it isn't certain people in charge.
Yeah. It's funny because as a senator, Biden even went and gave a deal where he showed up like a little crack cocaine
Crack
rock.
cocaine the size of a quarter.
Yeah, said
you would go to jail for life.
Yeah, immediately.
That's what he said.
No and ifs or buts, no exceptions, zero tolerance. You go to jail for a long time.
That's what he said.
Yeah. But when
I
it's
want to say that was in 1992, wasn't it?
Yeah, but when 94? It's his son, it's just, he's...
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, he's going through, he's proud of him. He's the smartest guy he knows.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he was so smart he was able to get cocaine into the White House.
Apparently. So what do you think about this Mead, man?
I like it.
There is nothing bad about it.
I have zero things bad to say about this.
The pineapple's not too much.
Nope.
The hibiscus is not too much.
It's a great blend.
It blends good. It's not overly sweet.
Yep.
I'd be curious to know how long they let it ferment before they...
I don't know. We can certainly, next time I ask them, we can look it up, see what they've got on there. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of more we can find out from them on there. But yeah, I mean, they do an amazing job.
I would like to
kudos.
give them, and I would like. There was a couple of weeks back, I was going to a party and I didn't want to show up empty-handed, and it was like a pool party, so I just stopped and got like one of those Cayman Jack like sampler packs, right? Well, there was a guy there that was in ratty t-shirt and some gym shorts selling whiskey. And I walked by and he just goes, hey man, would you like to try our craft whiskey, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, so that's fine. Well, then as I was walking back by, he just goes, you look like you're a whiskey drinker. You sure you don't want to try it? And I said, man, I am. I said, but I'm driving. I'm on my way to a party. And he goes, okay, well, can I tell you a little bit about it? And I said, yeah. So he starts telling me some stuff about it. And then I kind of and then I went, wait, stop. Are you the owner? He goes, yeah, the guy, I literally had to drive here from the distillery because the guy that was supposed to be here today didn't show up. So I had to shut down everything that I was doing at the distillery, and I came here so I wouldn't lose the contract with the liquor store. I said, you know what? Let me have a bottle. And he goes, cool. And he pulls out a silver Sharpie, and he signs it. And I was like, what was that for? He goes, this is the first batch ever made.
Oh, nice.
I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I was just doing it to support local business. Yeah. And I told him about you, and I told him about me. And I said, yeah, I was just doing it to support local business. He goes, yeah, this is the first run ever made. It's got a little bit of a pecan texture to it. Signs it, gives me the bottle number and stuff like that. And then I shared it with everybody, and everybody wanted more. Like it was that good. So I want to try to get him on, and I'd like to try to get these guys on.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys will come on. So,
all right, you ready for topic number 2?
Number 2.
You want it?
I'll take it. You took the last one. I'll take this one.
Well, I took the last one because you always go first.
Yes. Well, that is true. Well, you get to go.
But we do know that I do like sloppy seconds.
Yeah. So I'll take the sloppy second on this one. So it's not really sloppy though. It is the whenever you're ready.
You tell me whenever you're ready.
Hit the button. Hit that. I'm just gonna go. You hit the button whenever you feel like.
I haven't clucked with you in a while.
The sound of freedom.
The Sound of Freedom.
Yes. So
which most people don't know about this movie.
Sound of Freedom is the #1 movie in America right now.
Wait, what? How is that possible?
And then it has beat out Disney's Indiana Jones. It's beat out all the other movies out there in the theater right now.
Well, it's probably because that that it was one of those that's so big,
but
that people kind of like just let it go. It was probably just picked up by someplace like Sony, and it's just like ultra 4K and
no, it's a limited release,
like in every
independent kind of movie. No, in limited theaters, like one showing a day, and at certain theaters, and some theaters just don't carry it at all.
God, well, surely there's no bias there.
No. Well, I don't know. CNN did state that if you should not see this movie because it is a conservative QAnon
propaganda
film, something.
Yeah.
What the movie is about is the movie is based on a real person who's a federal agent, and his whole job is he got into combating sex trafficking of children. Yeah.
Well, that sounds very honorable and noble.
Yeah, it's weird that CNN would say, don't go see a movie about stopping sex trafficking
So wait a
of
second.
children.
Wasn't it just last week that California also passed where that sex trafficking and pedophilia?
Well, no, they didn't pass it. They rejected it and voted it down, which is to criminalize sex trafficking at a serious felony.
That's right. So sex trafficking and pedophilia is no longer.
Yeah, so in
considered a
California, it needs to be a slap on the wrist. It shouldn't be a serious felony out there. So
felony. Sorry that guy.
Not making that up.
Sorry that guy, like molested your child.
Not making that up.
But we're going to give him 40 hours of community service.
They voted against making it a serious felony in California. Yeah. I guess it would hurt the industry too much.
Well, so
in California.
But now some history on the Sound of Freedom is that originally it was getting made in a big studio. Disney purchased the studio, completely shut down production on this. And then I want to say it was Jim Caviezel. I can't remember.
Caviezel,
Jim Caviezel, that he fronted a lot of
so
the
much
money.
Nicer. Caviezel. It's kind of like cognac.
Because we're going Viking, yeah.
Yes, going to Viking. Caviezel.
He fronted a lot of the money for it, and then he took it to an independent filmmaker. And ever since he starred in The Passion of the Christ, him and Mel Gibson have always had a good relationship. And I think Mel Gibson's
done a lot of stumping out there for him, doing a lot of TikToks, doing a lot of reels and stuff.
And I want to say
just go see the movie.
And I want to say that he also is involved somewhere in the production, but not in the.
He might be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he by the end.
I can't remember.
But there is a rumor he's going to drop. Him and Caviezel also have an actual documentary that they've been doing in secret that they're going to be dropping sometime here in the near future about sex trafficking in Hollywood specifically.
And 10 years ago, whenever Gibson made all his anti-Semitic remarks, that was awful.
Sure,
that was awful, and he shouldn't have done it. But at the same time, he's actively been combating just as much as Ashton Kutcher about the sex trafficking and the pedophilia.
Well, Kutcher's a stand-up guy for his thing, and what's this called? Thorn, I think.
Yeah,
it's, where they create software to try to find children of who've been victims of sex trafficking.
The two of them have been doing a lot to try to do all this, but it's a whole lot easier to try to keep some of these actors blacklisted. Than try to actually come out. And then you have people like on CNN just saying this is a conservative propaganda film. That this is all for those MAGA ultra Republicans.
No, this is about the horrendous real life events
that's
going on all over the world.
And did you hear about some of the theaters?
Oh yeah, so some of them have been having air conditioning problems. They've been having fire alarms go off when the movie does get shown. And I did watch a video of where the fire alarm went off and they had the emergency exit doors open. The sun was shining into there and nobody was leaving.
Yeah. It's almost like they're in.
Like, no, we're still going to watch it.
It's more like.
Watched another video where they said the air conditioning had turned off, so they were closing that particular showing for that movie that day. And the couple said, no, we want to still sit anyways. We'll sit in there hot. And they, I guess, argued with the manager and let them in there. Turns out the air conditioning was working.
No.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. It's it's really weird because this is very similar to, and it's really weird that it's Caviezel doing it again because this is very similar to when Gibson and Caviezel did Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
And it ended up showing at churches and places like that because theaters wouldn't pick it up. And Gibson had to use his own money
just went off.
to produce the whole movie.
Timer just went off. Come on. It's okay. I still love you. What are you being quiet for?
No, I thought you were still playing with your mouse.
No. I was just saying that
in your pocket. Sorry, walked you into that one.
DMX went off, so I mean,
it's just but it's the number one movie. I mean, it's beating out Indiana Jones. So that should tell you something.
Well, the thing is that I guess
I'm going to see it.
Gosh, Passion of the Christ now is probably 20 years old.
Yeah, I'm going to see it.
And people don't really remember because we live in such a fast-paced society. People don't remember that at the time, Passion of the Christ was getting blacklisted.
Oh, yeah. There was all kinds of saying that Passion of the Christ was anti-Semitic itself.
Yeah.
Because it portrayed the Jews as murderers and all kinds of other bad things that they said.
One of my favorite ones on that one back in the day is that how they were saying that how it portrayed the Jews as trying to actually make Christ look like he was the bad guy. I'm like, Have you read the New Testament?
Yeah, I mean, that
you
one
turned him in.
The problem with that one, and I know it's a different topic. The problem with that one is though, Christ, whether you believe he was the Son of God or not, was an historical figure. He did exist. These actions did happen. He was crucified by the Romans at the request of the Jewish leadership in Israel at the time.
So,
it happened.
It happened.
Yeah.
So they were trying to get that blacklisted, and a lot of the same groups that try to get that one out of the theaters, which many of them were successful. So what they ended up doing was they signed private agreements where that churches could show it as long as they kept a record of ticket sales and blah, blah, blah. So the majority of the showings of that were private showings.
Yeah, it was a rough movie to watch. I've seen it. It was not the Sound of Freedom, but the Passion. I saw that one. That was a brutal movie.
It's one of those that whenever you leave, you sit in your car for a second with no radio or anything. You just sit there for a second. You just go, wow.
Yeah.
But the exact same group of people that did this against Gibson and Caviezel. JC
for short.
JC for short. For the Passion of the Christ were some of the same groups that tried to do it to Clint Eastwood and Bradley Cooper for Sniper.
Correct. And I think, what was it? Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen even tweeted or did something on social media saying that even though it had nothing to do with the movie, he called the Clint Eastwood American Sniper movie a Nazi propaganda.
Yeah. So it's a bunch of the same groups that are doing that, and it's the same type of groups that are trying to keep this out.
Bottom line is, they don't want anything that makes people of moral caliber who lean conservative to come off in a good light in Hollywood. They just don't.
And you and I have talked about this several times. You and I are not true conservatives.
No, more libertarians.
We're more libertarian. We're middle of the road. If the left or the right does something bad, we call them out on it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But to sit there and say, if you were a lawmaker, Rooster, if I came up to you and I said, hey, we're going to make sex trafficking and pedophilia a lower degree of a crime, would you be okay with that?
No, we're done talking. We're not going to do that.
So okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and need you to sign right here.
No, we're not making these things less penalized.
All right.
Because you're talking to a guy who thinks that the death penalty should probably be on the table when it comes to pedophilia.
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah. And I don't even want them to be in jail for a long time. Because that's just eating.
Well, that's the worst part about death penalty is how long they got to sit in jail, and let's not let them suffer on death row for 20 years.
I hate that.
Let's get them out there quick.
Kind of like, you know what? If you factor up how many millions it takes to keep somebody alive on death row for 20 years, a 45 ACP cost $1.49.
No. I got it. I know what will make all liberals pro-death penalty. We will turn old Sparky down in the museum in Huntsville into green energy provided
by the
electric
sun.
Chair. We will use solar and wind to put these people down.
Oh, that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, we can even put like a little recycle sticker on the little.
But then we have to sit there and try to do launch some type of investigation by how much carbon emission comes off the body
Oh yeah. We'll compost it later. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's gonna be composted. It'll be good.
It'll be in the garden.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? We'll use it as fertilizer for the prison garden.
See?
It'll grow tomatoes.
It's the circle of life.
I'm not seeing a problem here.
No, there's not one. So speaking of problems, we need to go on to our third topic here.
Oh yeah, we are way off.
Before we get into the third topic, are you still liking the mead?
I love the mead. This is great mead.
You want a little bit more?
I'm good still. Go ahead. Knock it out.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Viking. Yeah.
You go with Viking.
That
bottle is dead now.
I'm drinking the Ugertak.
It's
a burger.
The Big L.
So. I just said that it's a nice ale. Trevlisk. Nice ale. Trevlisk oil. Nice ale.
It's not ale.
No, you try it.
This Savoy.
Close enough. All right, so it's time for our third topic and our most favorite topic. Morgy. Oh, speaking of, did you see the? I don't know if I sent it to you. It was a video of the Swedish chef rapping at a karaoke club.
I don't think I've seen that. That's got to be great, though.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Always love that character.
So, topic number 3.
The big FUs.
FUs does not stand for follow-up.
If Morals was here, it would stand for follow-up.
Yeah,
but
but
today, we'll just let you think
well,
whatever you want.
It probably rhymes with cluck
Yes, and you.
and you,
Yeah.
but spelled EWE.
Ooh. Daddy.
That is so bad.
Bad. Got that bad boy taunting him
Okay.
back right up to the fence.
So, big FU. So first off, you seen that sleepy Uncle Joe Biden's over in Finland, right?
Yeah, and he's changed.
Speaking of Mead, he's over in Finland.
Very fitting. Not really fitting for this topic, but so
Well, it might be.
He's changing up on us.
He is.
He's gone from sniffing all the kids to
nibbling
the children.
He's nibbling children.
He's actually nibbling, not just children, scared little children.
That girl looked like she had just seen Dracula face to face.
Yeah, the video is great. Go out there, watch it. Just Biden nibbling. That's all you got to Google search on. And that little girl had the look of fear on her face. The mom was kind of, get away from my kid. But then when he tried to kiss the little girl at the end,
That's when she screamed, wasn't it?
I was like, I don't know if she screamed, but I was like, all right, dude, you got to be able to take a hint at some point that this little girl's not happy with you.
Read the room, Uncle Joe.
Yeah, read the room. And it's Uncle Joe, but you're not her uncle. So you're being the creepy Uncle Joe.
Speaking of Sound of Freedom.
Oh, yeah.
But
maybe that's why they didn't want to be in the movie.
But I mean, so he does stuff like this.
Dude, it's just creepy.
And then whenever he's I don't know if you've seen this, but some of the reporters have been asking about that. Yeah. Not the one that happened today, but there was a video that came out a couple weeks ago where that he was sniffing some girl and saying, don't tell your mama. And then they were trying to prove that was a fake. So there was that one, and then the one today. So the media's been asking questions about that, and he snaps at them. And then the media's been asking questions about the cocaine.
Yeah.
And he snaps at them. The Karine Jean-Pierre, whatever her name is, she can't answer a question to save her life.
She's going to have to refer you to the Department of Justice.
I mean, it is absolutely a clucking mess, and all the stuff that that we've been saying since he was like,
this administration is a nightmare.
Yeah, but I just found it funny that that we joke around and like you see the memes, we're like Uncle Joe gives us 5 sniffs, 5 out of 5 sniffs, 5 out of 5. And he just does it, and
creepy,
and nobody's saying anything.
No, man, it's just creepy. I mean, that we had when he first got into it, the whole what was her name, Ashley Biden, the daughter with the diary of I take showers in after 2:00 in the morning, so my dad won't jump in the shower in the shower with me.
And
what the actual clock, man?
And then they tried to prove that the diary was not authentic.
Oh, yeah, same thing they said with the laptop and all the other things. And they just conveniently end up losing them.
I mean, they assume the intelligence of the American people is at bare minimum.
Correct.
And for the most part, most people just believe what they hear. They don't actually take the next few steps. You know what? Speaking of intelligence.
Where in the world is Kamala Harris?
Well, we know by now, since she's our border czar, and that the border crisis is getting even more out of hand. We know she's not at the border.
Well, absolutely not. I mean, why would you?
So
when your main focus is being the border, why would you focus on the border?
So you know where she's at?
D.C.?
She's in D.C.
Hey, here's a start for being a politician, doing something in D.C. Now, I heard some rumors about she was doing something related to AI or something.
Correct.
We both know she ain't programming it. Skynet is now active. So
the thing is about, now I'm going to kind of paraphrase her for a second. The thing is about artificial intelligence is that it's intelligence. that's man-made and it's artificial, and that artificial intelligence is the future of intelligence, and it's the future of being artificial in the intelligence community. And within the artificial community, there is intelligence. Dash Kamala Harris, probably.
Thank you, Vice President Harris. At no time during that statement did you say anything that could be remotely construed.
Did you see the reporter's remarks?
A coherent statement. I award you no points.
We're
all dumber now.
May God have mercy on your soul. But did you see the remarks from some of the reporters?
I just looked it up. There's a quote, and I
wasn't joking about that, was I?
This is an actual quote from someone who was there. Quote, like she had a report due on AI, but absolutely didn't read the book.
Yeah.
And did you see why they were making fun of her? Not just your impression right there. Some of the things that she stated.
How close was I with some of the stuff that she stated?
Well, you were off on one. Most of it was probably right on, but there was one that really kind of stood out. And it was that AI could generate scams on the American people.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah. So it's going to start,
especially like
it's going to start trying to sell you car.
If it starts doing like algorithms,
it's probably going to start calling you and say, I'm calling about your car extended warranty or something like that. But the other one that she was worried about, and this is the one that really stood out, is she's afraid that AI will use discrimination in hiring of people.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Say that last part again.
So our robot overlords are going to be racist.
Oh.
Yeah,
oh,
so
she is the
you're not going to work in the human people factory making more robots for our new overlords.
She is the gift that just keeps on giving.
So she's afraid that AI is going to be discriminatory. That even AI is racist. So,
how's that even clicking possible? It's zeros and ones.
Well, I heard one. I think in Oregon they said math was racist. So zeros, ones, and numbers. And that's like math.
But it was funny because I don't know if you saw the report.
And she's not smart.
That the American government is trying to get some type of ban put on like YouTube, even though that they're not censoring social medias or anything. Or that there was this big report that came out from the Australian News Network, and those guys are brutal. Yeah. I mean, they are brutal.
Oh, I love Sky News. Those guys are awesome.
And they're not left. They're not right. They just call it how they see it.
Yeah.
And they came out and they said, they did like this 10-minute long interview this week about what a joke America has become under this administration. And they, like all the stuff that our government keeps telling you, oh, that's not factual about Biden, or that they try to like sweep under the rug about Harris. They're just sitting there going, no, this is the clip. This is it. Oh, timer just went off.
Let me just hit play here for you.
Yeah,
it's sad. It's sad that we can get more realistic news from overseas than we can get here at home.
It is very sad.
Yeah.
But you gotta. It's all part of the current administration strategy.
Strategery.
Part of their.
I miss old George W. and some of the stuff he said.
Some of the stuff he's strategery.
And
their
OBGYN's got to be free to practice their love. No, George, no, don't say it, dude. Stop. Turn his mic off.
The Brazilian soldiers are outside. How much is a Brazilian?
Oh man, yeah, it can be comical. I mean, the good thing is every presidency has its satire that we get to make fun of.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just that this one's no longer becoming satire; the satire is becoming real life.
This one, I feel like that meme of Jennifer Lawrence where she starts crying. What? That they put on everything.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Mr. President, this was not a challenge. The inflation is not. We don't want it to go up more. When we said, can it go up anymore, that you weren't supposed to say challenge accepted.
Oh, yeah.
So, but anyway.
Could you imagine being in some of these meetings with him? Foreign leaders, these closed-door meetings. He's talking about like, nuclear missile placement in Europe. And he starts going about how, back in 2006, we put wheels on my canoe.
And the kids, they ran their fingers through my hairy legs.
And they really like that.
And then I went after Corn Pop with the chain.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what do you think of the mead, man?
I like it. Yeah, I'd buy it again.
Yeah. I want to find out where these guys are at and give them some love and buy a few bottles. I mean, this is good.
See what the rest of it they
It's
have.
actually not. One of the things that I like about it is that the alcohol percentage is not much more than like a strong beer.
Well, it's really just like a glass of wine.
Well, yeah,
12 to 14%.
But you know how there's some of those craft beers that they'll get up to 14, 17%.
Yeah, like the dog heads and the things like that.
Well, that and there was the ones that came in the boxes that I got for
Oh,
us
yeah,
that
usually
one
the
time.
2-pack box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some of those were pretty stout. This isn't much higher on the
it's good.
alcohol percentage than like
And for summer, this is an amazing summertime tasting drink.
It really is. I like it. I give it a thumbs up.
Good job, Fox and me.
This is probably
Fox and Raven, excuse me.
This is probably now my highest that we have so far going into the tournament of fermentation.
Yeah, quite possibly. This might be the best thing we've had for this tournament.
Especially since we switched from doing 2 at a time to just 1 at a time.
Yeah, and my liver was hurting.
Yeah.
And it was getting really expensive. Inflation's not good on alcohol.
But I think that this has probably been the best one that we've had so far.
Yeah. And the nice thing, you've noticed, we do a lot less crappy drinks now that we do one. Than,
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we're supposed to be rotating them, but sometimes you're just like, I don't want to.
I don't want to.
Skull, huh? No, thanks.
But anyway, so yeah, if you get the chance, it was Fox and Raven.
Yeah.
They're out of Carrollton. They're being sold at some of the farmers markets.
Yeah, and I know they're at the Carrollton Artisan Markets on Sundays 10 to 2.
Okay, in the Carrollton Artisan Markets.
It's on Josie Lane.
For those of you all that still listen and follow along with all of our shenanigans. Our shenaniganizing.
Yeah.
I'm sure that if you shot a message, if you don't remember, shoot a message over to giftedchicken.com, and I'm sure that the Rooster would be happy to help you with trying to find some of that as well.
Yeah, speaking of that, I will be at that same artisan market with
you.
him.
Go onto his website and get all your beard bath and body needs, and he'll be at that artisan market.
Yeah, this Sunday. I haven't been out there in, goodness, I don't think I've been out there all year. This is my first one this year. We're going out to Carrollton. So,
which is not something that the Overlord can say. All right, you've been listening to Whiskey and Wine with the Rooster and the Madman, and remember, in a world full of chickens,
be a rooster.
You're listening
to Whiskey and Wine.
Thanks for tuning in to Whiskey and Wine with the Rooster and the Madman. We can catch brand new episodes every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Deep Dallas Radio on Locked and Loaded with DJ Shane Guns.
Special thanks to our sponsor, GiftedChicken.com, home to all your beard, bath, and body care needs. Veteran owner-operator right here in North Texas. Remember to pick up a bottle of Overlord Dungeon Oil. It's 100% all natural coconut oil.
Leaves you prickly on the insides.